Your average discussion and your average singing and your average headlines and music. Thank you for joining me here on episode 4 of Average Mics, not your average, no, your average discussion and your average headlines and your average talk here. And thanks for being here. It is episode 4. Yes, I'm going to say that one more time. Thanks for being here, liking, subscribing, and all that jazz. All right, what do we have? Everybody is jumping on the thing. And yes, I want to do a channel announcement when we got enough people here so people know what's going on with Mike in the Night and how we just know what's going on with sorry, there's just other channels popping up with audio here. Just to let people know what is happening with Mike in the Night. And we terminated Mike in the Night, guys. Hasta la vista on Sunday afternoon. It is rest in peace. We will no longer be doing Mike in the Night anymore. Unfortunately, it went on for too long. I think we went on for 524 episodes. 3-hour streams, and we just never picked up any traction. The show on multiple platforms wasn't picking up any traction. And I understand, guys. I know what you're going to say. The platforms are purposely holding people back, and they're holding people back. And platforms are obviously, like, they're promoting their Rumble heroes. They're promoting their Twitter stars. They're promoting, like, YouTube is promoting a certain sect of people to make documentaries. Now, when you make a documentary on YouTube, you must put in the documentary somewhere, especially if it's discussing the last couple of years. So if you're discussing the last couple of years and you're doing something on economy, housing, healthcare, multiple things, like in the last couple of years, you must put in the documentary. It's because of the pandemic. Because of the pandemic, we have an economic shortage. Because of the pandemic, we have a labor shortage. Because of the pandemic, people are going broke. Because of the pandemic, they're raising interest rates. Because of the pandemic, every post-COVID video on YouTube that's got over 1 million views is because of the pandemic. Even though I've been trying really hard to tell you guys and show you guys that everything that is because of the pandemic was already happening before the pandemic. And I really want to make that really clear with you guys, right? And it's a battle on the platforms. It's a battle between truthers. There's a war with the truthers. The truthers are at war, and it's terrible. It's terrible what's happened and how it's happened. This truther war is going on. Around mid-2021, you started seeing this movement of, like, during the trucker convoy, and that spearheaded this big thing around the world from Canada and basically put Canada back on the map. But the truther movement started to have internal civil wars, internal fights, and I'm not in a truther movement. I've never been part of a truther movement. We did cover the coverage on Mike in the Night of the trucker convoy. We did all that stuff. That was already covered. But I'm saying we weren't, I was never a truther. I was just a guy that kind of wanted to predict and show where things are headed, and my kind of theory of my weirdo projections on what I feel or what I see or how I feel or what's going on and what I'm connecting through predictive thought, right? So yeah, there's a big problem with the whole truther movement, and I canceled Mike in the Night because it's over 525 episodes or 524, and the show was going nowhere. It was just going nowhere, and I put too much time, too much effort. I dedicated my Saturday evenings for years, and I would think by now I would be paying my internet bill, but that never happened. So I said, I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it because I'm having fun too. But it'd be nice to, if all these other people are doing well and getting by. You see, I'm in a situation where I live in a very small town with 2 stoplights, and I don't have much opportunity for employment. And me thinking, well, I already got 5,000 videos out there telling people what's going to happen. But nothing came of it. It's just nobody cared. You predict, they shit on you. It happens, they shit on you. You make a video showing them what you said, they shit on you. So there's no money in it on my level. Why? Because I'm honest. I have no reason to lie to you guys. I have no reason to say anything that's not true. There's nothing in it for me. You see? There's nothing in it for me. I have nothing to gain. So, and I'm not going to switch the script or flip the script and start lying or start going down a path of destruction, because I know you guys trust me and I trust you guys and I'm with you guys through this, right? But Mike in the Night was just, it took too much time, setups, too much time. I would set up the Friday and then go into the Saturday. I would set up on the Friday and then Saturday get the headlines, and then Saturday evening a couple of hours. So I would put 8 hours into setting up the show, and it just wasn't adding up, right? So anyways. Okay, what do we got here? We got Spark Jive. No, you didn't lose me. You just lost Mike in the Night, and I'm done with it. I'm just done with the damn show. Who else is in here? Hey guys, we terminated a show before. We terminated Trends in the Housing Market. We did that for 300-400 episodes since 2012. We did Trends in the Housing Market. We had call-ins. We were talking about the destruction of the middle class around the English-speaking world. I just put up right now a video of episode 301 of Mike in the Night discussing housing and stuff that we did in that episode. We were talking about the economic middle-class takeover, right? Awake, not woke, says Mrs. Telling the Truth, boss lady, okay. Try it now. As soon as you put it into the microwave, the video will stop playing after a few seconds. Thank you, Mike, for being a man of the people. I can't lie to you guys, right? So for me to put in so much production time, average mics takes me 3 minutes to set up. 3 minutes to set the show up. Literally. Okay, 11 minutes when I pick out a few headlines that I want to talk about, you guys. Right? Mr. Howell's in the house. How you been? Welcome home, Mike. We are family. I know we are family. I should do a trucking YouTube channel. That's Junkyard Dog should do that. And he should discuss the economics in the trucking sector. And no freights, no money, freight brokers. He should do that. Where's Mike in the Night? No, Mike in the Night is canceled, folks. We canceled shows before, right? We did Can't Read Market Talk for a while, for maybe 13, 14 episodes. That never took off. We did a couple of episodes of We Didn't Poop Those Items. That never took off. We did a couple of episodes of, what was the other one we did? Just lots of different live streams we tried out. But Mike in the Night was the longest standing one, right? So we got Tignim in the house. Hello. Someone says he has to get out of the game before he gets sued, Alex Jones style. No, it's not even that. It's just there has to be some sort of a balance somewhere, right? And I wasn't meeting it with Mike in the Night. But average mics I do on Mondays. The kids are off at a friend's house playing. Everyone's having a good day today, and yeah, it's just what it is, right? So we got 30 people, 42 people watching. What do you see we have on Rumble here? We don't have anybody on. We have one person watching on Rumble, and we got some people on Odyssey. We got Art by Dano there. What's up, folks? Welcome to Mike in the Night. And Mike in the Night. No, sorry, I'm going to take that back. Welcome to Average Mics. I'm sorry, I didn't say. I'm so used to saying Mike in the Night for so many years. And I've been so used to saying that, and it's going to be a little bit of a change, but we need to, rebrand, refocus, find out what's best for me and you and everybody. My phone was working with still talking in the microwave for about 3 minutes. You should start a donation link. Oh, I just took down the donation link today. I took down I basically shut down the donor box today, folks. I just don't feel my content is worth paying for. I honestly don't feel that people should be paying to hear me talk. I don't think it's worth it. So I took down. I wasn't making much on the donor box anyway. I only had 3 people donating to me, so I just shut it down. So I won't be taking donations here on the channel, folks. Again, I don't feel my content is worth paying for, so it's not worth it. It's up to the platforms to be paying me my monetization. It's up to the platforms to do this, not you guys. It's up to the platforms to basically pay me for my work and the viewership. You see, if they don't promote me, like, I'm not a Rumble hero, right? So if they promoted me, and I think if Mike and the Night got a real chance, like a real chance, I think more people would have tuned in and liked it if more people were exposed to it. But no one was. 525 episodes. I may be wrong. 524 episodes, and it's like a no-show, right? So too long, too much time, right? Not too many people on YouTube 5 to 10 years have less than 100 videos. Yes, Philip, but those people, like, there's some people with 68 videos. Channel came up to 2021, 500,000 subscribers, make a video, 250,000 views, right? If they say the right things, right? You say the right things, you're going to go somewhere. But the problem is, I'm not saying those things. I'm not saying things that I know that are untrue, right? Do you believe we are in the last days of the Bible, or just really tough times? It's unfolding. I'm not going to lie. It is unfolding. Things are starting to take things are starting to take shape. Things are taking shape. It's hard. It's really hard to put a finger on the pulse right now where we're at as a species, but there's a lot of things that are happening, and a lot of society is broken down. Society is already off the cusp. Society is already in pieces. We know that already, but how far is it going to go? How far? It's up to it's all up to us, right? It's up to us where things go ahead. Governments have lost grip a long time ago, and so what do you think about the drills happening on the 4th of October at Australia, and 4th in Russia, 4th Russia, 3rd? Oh, it's military drills probably. I'll look into that real quick here. Someone's saying, Mike, you have to eat. If it doesn't pay the bills, what's the point? I don't know, man. I just like live streaming and talking with you guys, but I was in it for Mike and the Night more to really be more upbeat, more this, more that, more cleaner, more organized, more everything, to see if I could get a sponsor or something, or Rumble would have maybe taken and said, well, we'll sign you up or something. But same thing with Odyssey. We started on a clean slate on Odyssey. We did over 120 or 110 episodes of Mike and the Night. Nothing happened. We just shadow banned on every platform. It never went anywhere. And I know one day people in the future will look at episodes of Mike and the Night and say, holy crap, what the hell was this? I never heard of this. Like, who was this guy? It's just, and then you go to I'm watching other live streams of these big Rumble heroes with over 30,000 people watching. It's not even choreographed. There's nothing going on, basically. The backgrounds, nothing. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about these Rumble heroes and Twitter stars. Any thoughts on the next Million Man March on October 28th? Don't know anything about it, folks. Unfortunately, I'm not part of the Truther circle. I'm not in the Truther community. Truther community started in 2021. I started in 2012. Well, my first channel. So basically 2012. So there was, yeah. Yeah, educated choice says sharing some truth doesn't hurt. But the problem is when you share the truth, when you're constantly sharing or trying to break the truth or tell the truth, it's constantly, you're just in a tailspin of, making sense of things, right? Okay, this is what I think is the truth. Where does it go from here, right? Where do they take it from here, right? Woo, it's Average Mike's. Average talk show with average discussion. And Average Mike's. Ricky Spanish. Sorry, I had to play that sound clip there. Whoa, Scratch My Ass sent me $49.99. Worth it. Mike in the Night saved my life. No joke. Well, I appreciate that, buddy. Scratch My Ass. I really, really appreciate that a lot. Scratch My Ass sent me a super chat. I'm happy I was there for you, buddy. I was really happy I was there. We did this. We went through the whole thing. When we told you they're going to pull the trigger, then they pulled the trigger, and then when they rolled out, and we just went through it one by one. And I remember in January 2020, we did a Mike of the Night showing you guys the lockdowns. Mike, what are you talking about? No, there were lockdowns in 1918 during the Spanish influenza. We were showing you articles, like not actual advertisements from 1918, like proper ones that were scanned into the system, and clippings of news clippings showing you what they did in 1918, how they locked it down. They were calling them bowling alleys, soda fountain. Was it soda fountain shops, candy shops, billiards? Was it billiards? And movie screening, not movie screening, but picture shows. They were telling people to separate back then in 1918. And yeah. Okay, so the comments are really nicely. Thanks, folks, for being here, and thank you, Scratch My Ass, for being with us all this time. Okay. So let's go. I have a ton of articles here I kind of want to cover with you guys because I feel it's important. This was from Mike of the Night, so they're day-old articles, but there's some really good stuff. So I quickly want to talk about this. This is kind of I think this is like what we're getting into and what we're talking about here on the channel. And let me open this up because I believe this is really important. That you guys see this. Okay. Read more. Okay. YouTube. Let me full screen this for you guys to see. YouTube removed my video from 2018. Mike in the Night spiritual warfare launched against the world. Governments want our souls for medical misinformation. So the video was taken down. I'll show you the picture. Scroll right and see what Tucker Carlson said today. So there's the video there. So let's scroll right. Watch this. There it is. There's the video. Mike in the Night spiritual warfare launched against the world's governments want our souls. Okay. So this was taken down at 11:03 p.m. on the 30th of September. And then so this was out of New York, so out of the East Coast, October 1st. So within minutes, so 11 p.m. West Coast to East Coast, it's already October 1st, okay? Tucker Carlson warns globalist elite are waging spiritual battle against humanity. And if YouTube allowed me to open this picture, you'll see the timestamp up top on my phone, what time it was, and it wasn't even midnight yet. So what happened was, basically, there was a page taken out of this Mike in the Night here. Literally a page taken out of this Mike in the Night. Okay? And it was said here in the speech. a good chunk of what we said on Mike of the Night on that episode was basically, it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre that they took down a video from 2018. Okay? I have, if you could open this fully, you could see the timestamps on it and everything. And I have them on my phone saved. And there it is right there. And within minutes of this being posted, my video, I got a notification. I'm going up the stairs. Oh, they took a video down from 2018. What? Why? And then somebody actually went to the link, because I posted the link to the video, and it was taken down. So it's almost like if somebody says something or want to be on the front line of something, the AI or analytics now will go back and see if it was said before to make sure that somebody gets the front line for it, and just remove they just remove your video. They don't even care. So, oh, virus protection. So I just wanted to bring this up before I read any headlines here. All right, so what else is going on here? Yes, Bank of Canada is increasing rates. That's true. Bank of Canada will need to raise rates. I said it's got to get up to 10, 11 points. So eventually, they're going to have to raise rates. Okay, now let's get back into something that we've been covering on the channel for a while now. And here it is, folks. Here's proof that all the summer fires were arson, not climate change. And we were talking about arson season and the fall of the cabal's new film Fire. Things that make you go, So they always, these pathetic losers that make videos. No. They make movies about what's going to happen. And these pathetic losers are, in the cabal, are giving themselves awards every other hour or every other week. And giving themselves awards all the time. And it's disgusting what is happening. And the world wiping out entire towns is a must-watch by Dr. Vernon Coleman. This new, brilliantly researched film should be entered for the Oscars. So the new film is Fire. So, how come buildings remain untouched? Why did it take so long before help arrived? Why is the media selectively quiet? Oh, okay, sorry guys, this video's in favor. Things that make you go, So, okay. I'm seeing how this is worded. I'm sorry, folks. How buildings remained untouched. Why did it take so long before help arrived? Why is the media selectively quiet? Why were escape roads blocked by the authorities? Why were people stopped and sent back towards the fires where they perished? Why are the hit areas shielded off? And why is aid denied? So, answers in their new film. So, there's a new film. So, okay, I thought this was the... it's the fall of the cabal. But I'm talking earlier about how the cabal makes a film about a virus, about a pandemic, about this. And then a couple of weeks or months later, it happens. But this is different. This is actually answering the questions. So, here's the proof. Those summer fires were arson, not climate change. So, there it is right there, folks. If you want to watch the video, I was sickened by what the conspirators have done and doubtless will continue to do, that I had to take a break halfway through the film. This brilliantly researched film from Cynthia and Janet, The Fall of the Cabal, should be entered for the Oscars. Yes, it should be entered for the Oscars. So I take back what I said earlier because the wording seemed different, but this is what it... So there it is right there. And we were warning you guys, arson season just kicked off in Canada. Why Canada is burning to the ground, climate change BS. And there it is, thick smoke. We did one for Australia. I don't know why it's not coming up. We did other videos too, letting you guys know. Pretty sure we did other arson videos, but I guess they disappeared. Arson, yeah, oil wars. But we did make quite a few videos warning people about Australian season to hit, arson season to hit Australia. That is very important. And now they're actually getting reports and stuff and notifications on their phones that this is, look, Canada burns to the ground, governments ignore it, New York smoke update. So arson is a big thing, and they are pushing it in their new agendas now. Their new agendas will be arson now. Arson will be added to the mix with global warming, and it will be global cooling in the winter, and then rain season, and then they're going to create different seasons to keep us in the realm of fear. Did you? Yeah, nobody voted for him. Yes, nobody voted for him. Snap election to be called, and nobody is. So someone's saying Mike is misstating on about how rich he ought to be. Increase your just tuning in. Increase you're just tuning in. No, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about how the show, the show, Mike of the Night wasn't going anywhere, and it took too much time and effort to put in. And with the amount of years and thousands of videos that were put in, here it is right here. There's 4,000 right there, 4,800 videos, and that's minus a couple of 1,800 that were taken down. So there you go right there, folks. Yeah, there's always going to be haters in the comments and misdirect and stuff, and always put the hate on, and it's just part of what it is. There's always going to be people that they're just going to hate, right? And all right, folks, let's go back to 39 weeks. We were covering this on Mike of the Night since the first day it launched, and we had word on it on that day it launched. It was on Mike of the Night, and they organized a massive rallies against Israeli regime policies, drag into the 39th straight week, folks. So we're going 39 weeks into this. This is a big deal. So let's full screen this for you guys and see if it plays. There it is right now. So we're 39 weeks into this protest of Netanyahu, the crime minister, who basically selected himself into office, and it just doesn't stop. And it's going on and on and on and on. And it's a non-stop protest now, 39 weeks straight. There's the signage up there, crime minister. And he was supposed to be put in jail, folks. There was a plane that there was an eyewitness that was going to testify against him, who mysteriously died in a plane crash about a year ago. An eyewitness that was supposed to testify against Netanyahu, who mysteriously died in a plane crash and didn't make it. So Netanyahu is back, and nobody wants him. And this is what people were basically protesting back in 2019, and why they had to pull the trigger on the pandemic. Why? It's because the whole world was like this. Panama was like this. Argentina was like this. Chile was like this. Peru was like this. Iran was like this. Haiti was like this. France was like this. Everywhere. China. Hong Kong was like this. What was it? Other countries in Europe. Everywhere. Brussels was protesting no confidence in government. And there it is right there. So there's the protesters alongside the highway. And the crime minister, they want to put him away. No confidence in government. Are we going to see more and more protests around the world? Yeah. As everything starts to fall apart, people will no longer have confidence in their governments, because this is what people were protesting back in 2019. Okay, so let's keep moving forward here. Hiroshi's asking me, is Average Mike the new Mike? No, I've been doing Average Mike for 4 episodes now, and so exactly, Deborah, they shut us down. So they shut us down, and that's basically what happened. Was no confidence in government. Governments want to maintain power, and what do? They just pull the trigger on the pandemic, and that's, again, over and over the same broken record. Heisa says is in the house. Yep, they pulled the fear trigger, says Deborah Hart. That's a good way to put it, Deborah. The fear trigger. Yeah. So people are coming in wondering what's going on. Guys, we terminated Mike in the Night. We went too much time in preparation, organizing the show. Too much work. It's just a lot of work. And unfortunately, after 524 episodes, it wasn't going anywhere. The show wasn't going anywhere. So I'm just updating people watching, as jumping into the comments now. It just wasn't. It's just too much work, and it took too much time out of my Saturday and my Friday night, because I would have to set up for Friday, and then have everything ready for Saturday, and then Saturday afternoon before the show I would set up for another 3 hours, and it was just too much of a drain on me, and the show wasn't going anywhere, and we were basically shadow banned on every platform. So I just want to keep it average, like this, average Mike. And oh, we got people. Oh, wow. Okay. So we got people on Rumble here. Thanks, guys. We got, I think, 12 people on Rumble watching. And then we got our live stream right now on Odyssey. And we got some people here. Yeah, art by Daniel's in that one. If you guys want to go over to Odyssey, and yeah, Mike it's average Mike is playing here. Let me open it here on Facebook, and I know lower the volume there. So yeah, it's average Mike's. You're tuned into average Mike's, folks. Your average discussion, your average talk, and your average whatever. Music, singing. All right, guys. I want to do like a really quick channel plug here, if that's okay. There's a link in the bottom in the description of this video. If you guys want the glutathione, I have a link for it. I've been on it. Man, I am like sparked up big time. Go to the link in the description, and I'll give you the link right now. If you guys want to join the glutathione, jump on the glutathione bus, I would appreciate that. And just join and read the newsletters and read what's going on. And I would really appreciate the support if you just join and give it a try. And there it is right there. I'll give you guys the link. This stuff, I've been on it now 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and I am enjoying this so much. I am enjoying taking this. Ever since I started taking it, I noticed after 4 days, I'm almost on a different playing field, like a different level when it comes to, I don't know how to say it, just focusing on things and not even focusing, feeling better. Not average, but better, right? Average Mike's is average, but link in the thing, and if you guys want to support. And you could just join the link and read the news reels on it and what's happening and the testimonials. There's your glutathione there, folks. I really like taking this. So I thought it was going to be this BS placebo that was going to go nowhere, and yeah, it's average Mike's with average discussion with average talking people. All right, who else is here? We got lots of people joining us in the comments. All right. So somebody was talking about this in the comments earlier. Canadian mortgage rates to go higher for longer as bank sees smaller cuts. So Canadians waiting for interest rates to fall. No, that's not going to happen. It fell last time. Interest rates fell late 2019. When they pivoted, they raised rates to hedge inflation because inflation was going out of control in November, December 2019. No, they raised rates in early 2019. I'm sorry, early 2019, they started raising rates. And by the end of 2019, they pivoted and started to lower rates because people were losing their shirts. Because a lot of people jumped on these first-time home buyer schemes, government grant schemes, interest-only mortgages, shadow banking, all this Mickey Mousing that people jumped on. People were losing their shirts. They were losing they're losing everything, right? And they had to raise rates. So they started to raise rates, but then they pivoted and everyone started to lose everything, and then they had to lower rates. And then they pulled the trigger on the pandemic. They had to do that because they had to slow things down. So what does it say here? Canadian borrowing cost to hit the highest level since 2007. The yield for the bond places it at the highest level since 2007, and it's getting close to breaking above the 2007 peak. That's going to lead to even 5-year fixed rate. So unlike in the United States, Canadians have to renegotiate their mortgages every 5 years or 4 years on a 4-year term or a 5-year term. But the mortgage is laid out on a 30-year like a 30-year amortization, like a 30-year term and a 4-year term amortization. Yeah, 30-year amortization and a 4-year term. Sorry. 30-year amortization, 40-year amortization. Now they're promoting interest-only amortization because it's so bad, and 4-year term, 5-year term. So if rates go up, you're caught in the trap. You're going to have to probably pay double your mortgage if rates double. And that's how they're getting you. And that's how they got you. This was supposed to happen in 2019, but they decided to pull the trigger on the pandemic. Right? So government waiting for interest rates to fall might be a little disappointed. The government of Canada, the GO 5-year bond yield popped to a multi-year high again. The yield is an important measure for the market, influencing the cost of similar length mortgages. They aren't alone. Almost all bond yields are rising under the same conditions, leaving fewer places for borrowers to hide. At least one major bank in Canada is trimming their forecast for rate cuts, and the world embraces higher for longer monetary policy. And it's happening in Australia. It's happening everywhere. Canadian borrowing costs to hit the highest level since 2007. The yield for this bond places it at the highest level since 2007, and it's getting close to breaking the above 2007 peak. That's going to lead to even higher 5-year fixed rate mortgages in the next year. Yields are rising across all segments in most advanced economies too, which is likely to push all fixed mortgage rates higher. And that's what's going to happen, and then it has to push higher. Then it goes on to say hikes should reduce the ease related to monetary stimulus. Thank you for putting that in there, better dwelling. But the economy is taking them in strides. Remember the stimulus, the printing the money, the lower interest rates, the Frankenstein monster that they created, right? He cites economic strength, elevated inflation, and rapid population growth as contributors to smaller cuts. Consequently, they don't see the ease being worked out of the economy until at least 2025. That will result in higher interest rates across the board for much longer than many more thought possible just a few months ago. So people, if you're paying a blended rate, be careful. And what I mean by a blended rate is if you are paying a credit card, a line of credit, a car payment, a this, a that, go online, find a TDS calculator. Go find a TDS calculator to find out what your total debt service ratio is. Find out your TDS, plug in all the numbers, and see how much money you have left over for food. And then on the TDS calculator, you could adjust the interest rate on the mortgage. So if the mortgage does go up, you could kind of graph, or you could kind of estimate where your payments are going to go forward. So pay attention to that, folks, because especially if you're up for a renewal and you're in one of these scam mortgages, like Canadian mortgages are scams. In the United States, you could sit on a 30-year mortgage if you really want to, right? You could renew if you want, if you find a better rate. But in Canada, Australia, I think Australia has the same crap, in New Zealand, the same BS, and the UK. We're under this yoke here in the Commonwealth. It makes it impossible for anyone to get ahead, right? But check your TDS, folks. It's very important that you know where you're at. Rates will go up. So know where you're at, know what's in your wallets, know how to forecast and prepare, okay? I'm just reading your comments here. KCC, I never left. I just killed Mike in the night. KCC PAC knows me from even trends in the housing market. We killed that too. We just tried different things, and we tried different. I really want to do a talk show at night, a nice night talk show. But I want it to be more of a personal talk show where people would call in and tell us what they're doing, how they've been affected, where they're going. But that's going to have to be on the other platforms that we have no following on. That's the problem, right? Pamela Page thought, I thought we were a family, but that was a lie. I walked out on us just like everyone I've ever cared about. I'm devastated and done. Bye, Mike. So Pamela Page is leaving the channel. She's been with the channel for years now, but unfortunately she feels that she has to leave. I don't think Mike in the Night was we could do something else that doesn't take so much time off of my life. You know what I'm saying? I could do like a simple talk show. Maybe rename. Yeah, I'm gonna put up a poll for you guys to maybe decide if we do something on a Saturday night. I go in and it's gonna be when all the kids are asleep, and I could focus on you guys. It's gonna be a really late night show, but something more of a one-on-one, one or two headlines, a little bit of discussion. People call in and talk about what's going on in their lives and what they need to do. And Mike in the Night wasn't it was just a complete waste of time. Yes, they're using their house as piggy banks, ATM machines. Yeah, that's something we're very vocal about here. So if you're living in Canada, pay attention, especially in the States. They're gonna be doing this. So they're gonna be doing this across the Commonwealth. They're gonna give more powers to pharmacists. So Ontario expand pharmacists' prescription powers to include 6 more common ailments. So to stop people from going to our failing medical system, people going to our failed hospitals that you'll wait 20 hours for to see a doctor, they're giving more powers to pharmacists. So you don't really have to go to the hospital. If you could diagnose yourself and find out what is wrong with yourself, you could actually go in and grab 6 more common ailments. So Ontario residents now can access treatment and medication for 6 additional common ailments and pharmacies across the province. So pay attention. This is going to happen. This is going to happen everywhere. Hospital. What's going to happen is they don't want you at the hospital. They don't want you putting a strain on the system, and unless it's a paid for profit hospital. Yes, right. So you're going to start to see this expand around. So basically, you could go into the pharmacy and almost pick up anything in the next 5 years. My prediction, by 2027, you could walk into a pharmacy and pick up anything, because hospitals don't want it. You're going to self-diagnose yourself, or you're going to get somebody like a pharmacist to tell you what's wrong with you, and then you'll take their word and then take the medication, right? So the move was announced by Deputy Premier, Minister of Health, Sylvia Jones in Etobicoke on Sunday morning, expanding the list of common ailments pharmacists can treat. People will get faster, more convenient access to the care they need closer to home, while helping to further reduce wait times at our community clinic hospitals, Jones said Sunday. And again, there it is right there. And it goes back to that tragic death at that New Brunswick hospital in Canada back in 2019, when she died of poisoning in her blood, and she waited 11 hours to see a doctor. She was hunched over and she died. And multiple people were dying in hospital waiting rooms before they pulled the trigger on the pandemic. So this was already happening before. The 6 new ailments: acne, canker sores, diaper rash, yeast infection, plastic worms, and pregnancy nausea will be added to the existing 16, of which a list could be found of the ministry's website. So what's not to say that the pregnancy nausea could be a problem that you have with the child and you're not really properly checking it, but you get this guy coming in and basically stating that pharmacist to tell you what's wrong with no scans or blood work or anything, but we're going to give you this treatment, but there's really something wrong with the child, right? So they're moving, or they're shifting they're shifting it to the pharmacists, right? So pharmacists in Ontario have been able to prescribe medication for common ailments. Since early this year, according to the Ministry of Health, 89% of pharmacies in the province have opted into the program, providing over 40,000 assessments. So, of course, they make more money. They make the sale. And, again, this is all Big Pharma at work. And Big Pharma is in the pockets of the pharmacists, too. Because then they get a bonus for promoting other medications, right? They get bonuses, right? And the more, and give it to 2027. It won't be 6 more common ailments they'll add to the list of, 18? What was this here? 18? 16. It'll be 55, 75. You'll be able to go to get cancer treatment pills from your pharmacist because your hospital doesn't want to see you. Because your hospital doesn't want to waste time. Because your hospital wants to shift the focus somewhere else because they're failing. Hospitals are failing. Hospitals have nowhere to go. And, of course, they want to continue taxing us. So for them to continue taxing us, we have to feel that we're receiving something from them. But meanwhile, they're destroying everything. They're destroying all the infrastructure. And our healthcare has been destroyed since 2014 in Canada. It was worse before 2014, but it got really bad after 2014. Bad. And it was very visibly bad. Right now, I don't even know if the hospital in my own town is open. The hospital was closed 2 nights in a row, or 2 days and 1 night. Yeah, it was closed. So we didn't even know. If something happens and we need to go to the hospital, what do? Right? We got to drive 70, 80 miles out of town. And what if the weather's bad? So I think we're going to see the end of hospitals pretty soon, folks. I mean, we're going to see a lot less hospitals pretty soon, folks. Okay, Terry is saying week 2 on Numi and feel better is not overnight. More slow and steady feeling, but better. I am 62 with many previous health issues. Yeah, guys, the Numi link is in the bottom. If you want to grab the glutathione, I have mine on auto ship, so it just sends me a bottle every month for what I need. You could sign up, folks. It's free, and the link is in the bottom. I don't know if this works and it continues working. I'm going to keep promoting it, right? So, yeah, water fasting is an incredibly good reset. That's Tig Nim there in the house. Tig Nim came to visit me. Came to visit me there at the shop. All right, so Jewish Zelensky scams Trudeau to honor Nazi war veteran as Ukrainian and Canadian hero. So this has been going around the news here for the last week, and it's a distraction. A war veteran who fought for the Nazis and pledged allegiance to the Austrian-born German dictator Adolf Hitler appeared at the House of Commons. He was even honored as a hero during the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky monumentous visit to Canada last week. Right after Zelensky delivered the address in front of the Canadian Parliament, the lawmaker celebrated 98-year-old Yarosław Hunka, and Speaker Anthony Rota drew attention to him. The Speaker introduced Hunka as a Canadian and Ukrainian war hero who fought for the First Ukrainian Division. Hunka then waved and nodded at the gallery, and he received 2 standing ovations from Parliament and the Ukrainian president, who is, by the way, Jewish, related Trudeau and Zelensky, empathetically honored a Nazi SS soldier before the Canadian Parliament in a deeply embarrassing incident. So, Yeah, they're not hiding it, Mike. That's right, Mr. Nobody. It's on the Mr. Nobody's in New Zealand. You're seeing it in the news in New Zealand. You're seeing it in the news in Australia. Why? Because it's a distraction. These governments are working hard to get rid of the last 3 years. They're working really hard. This whole neo-Nazi, this Nazi war veteran thing in Canada is a distraction. So I got people in the comments saying they saw it in the news in New Zealand, Australia, the UK, America. They're seeing it in the news everywhere. Why? Because it's a distraction, right? A distraction, because governments need the last 3 years to disappear. Because once they start looking and investigating and actually doing some research on the last 3 years, and people will start to wake up. People will start to realize what is happening. People will start to realize how things are headed and where things are headed. And they're going to start realizing, wait, we were in trouble pre-pandemic. Let's start connecting the dots pre-pandemic, right? And start figuring out what was going on then and why they had to pull the trigger on the pandemic. And now governments are on the hook. Governments are on the hook. You have no idea what governments are on the hook for. They even have no idea because it's so big. All right, guys, let's get back to that discussion. Back to the same discussion we've been talking about back and forth on the channel for over 10 years now. Minimum wage is not a living wage, folks. Minimum wage, and I'll tell you what minimum wage is. Minimum wage is, I am done high school for summer. I'm in grade 9, going to grade 10. I'm going to go get my first summer job. I'm going to make a little money, bank a little money, maybe buy my first car or maybe buy something, and then next year, 10 to 11, summer job, work the summer. That's a minimum wage job. Minimum wage or not living wage. And with the price of things going up and the price of housing over $1 million, depending where you're living, and the price of a condo, $600,000, depending what city you're in, if you're in a blue state of America or if you're in Canada or in Australia, New Zealand, or the UK, you would realize that your minimum wage job is not a living wage. And you would do the math in your head quite simply and figure out that you can't even eat. So that's where we're at right now. So now what's happening, and this is how governments are going to federalize all these stores and chains and all these places. Governments will be federalizing all this stuff, and they have to, because corporations like fast food chains can't afford to pay people $20-$30 an hour just to live a basic lifestyle. So governments are going to step in, and you're going to have government-sanctioned Taco Bell. You're going to have government-sanctioned McDonald's. You're going to have government-sanctioned everything. Governments will push corporations out of their buildings, okay, and then go in and just open a Taco Bell Canada by your Canadian government, right, with cricket sauce. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to push everything out. So Walmarts, all these places, brick and mortar, even big corporate entities will have a really tough time paying people. They'll have a really tough time paying people, right? Because they are now on the hook to pay people a living wage, not a minimum wage anymore. And that's where it's going. And that's been the debate that we've been having on this channel for ages. So let's move on. So here it is, folks. Ontario minimum wage rises to $16.55 an hour. That's about 12 American dollars an hour for a minimum wage job. And they're not letting me read the article, so let's move on. And $20 an hour minimum wage, good idea for fast food industry. Again, minimum wage is not a living wage, and that's the problem we've been having for years. And it won't let me read the article, but that's what's happening right now. They are putting the pressure on the company owners. So if a little mom and pop small shop like myself, I don't pay myself $20 an hour. I think I pay myself $3.75, $4 an hour if I want to keep my business open. If I want to keep my business open, if I pay myself $20 an hour, I'll be out of business in 2 weeks, right? So it's getting harder and harder for us to even make ends meet, and then the pressure is going on to the corporations to make ends meet, and governments will just roll in and federalize everything. All right, let's move on. All right, Let me go to the comments real quick. Minimum wage discussion is BS. Sorry, rigor mortis. Always working, driving. No one takes less than $20 an hour out here on the island. And most BC hospitals, I imagine, closed on weekends. Yeah. Yeah, rigor mortis is saying people making 5 times the minimum wage can't afford shit. What will raising the minimum wage do? Am I wrong? Well, rigor mortis, like I said, raising the minimum wage will push corporations into bankruptcy. And in turn, and then when you pay a higher wage to somebody, the federal taxes, right? The taxes go up. So federal governments make more money, right? So. All right. So someone's saying, fix the money, fix the world, start accept Bitcoin average Mike. Oh wow, we got some people. Oh wow. Okay, thanks guys that are in Rumble. I didn't think was anyone in Rumble. Hi. I'm going to say hi in Rumble. Hi. I got 29 people watching. And thanks for coming over here and checking us out on Average Mics. And so someone says you'll need to move to the Philippines, says D-Man over on Odyssey. And we got 9 people watching us over on Odyssey. And Facebook is moving nicely here. Hello, people. Woo! And we got, was it 9 people watching on Facebook. Thank you guys for joining us. So David says, hope to catch up in Merritt in 2 weeks. Getting back to listening in now. So people are at work. People are doing their thing. All right, let's move on. Now, this is something that's striking the household. People are starting to... we were talking about, violence buildup, all this stuff skyrocketing, no confidence in governments, and civil unrest, blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to predict something here, folks. I want to do a prediction here. I'm predicting that you're going to have door-to-door problems. I know it's starting to happen in some states in America. I know it's starting to happen mainly in the states where you can't have a gun. So robbers and bandits are now going door to door, like door-to-door salesmen. They knock on your door, they kick it in, they want your possessions, they'll shoot you. They don't care. They have nothing to lose, right? And I'm thinking we're going to be seeing door-to-door vandals, door-to-door robbers, door-to-door runts, nuisances. I think we're going to have problems door-to-door. I think they're going to start going into rural, less established areas like I live, and they're just going to go door-to-door. Somebody answers, oh, you answer the door, your problem. They'll kick the door in, and they'll start just ransacking the place and taking what they want. And if you don't do what they tell you, they'll just kill you. And because it's becoming more and more lawless and more police can't do anything about it. You call the police after someone does that, well, it's forming an opinion. Where I live, that's forming an opinion. So we got to be really careful. And I'm worried about door-to-door break-ins, door-to-door. If you're home, it's a bonus for them because then they'll hold you hostage and they'll get what they need from you and they'll go to the next house. And I have a bad feeling that something like this is going to happen because we're going to see the civil unrest start to really take form, and we're going to start to see the civil unrest really start to take a different shape that it's going to be different from 2019 protests, right? So let's go. Washington, D.C. and other U.S. cities becoming war zones as crime skyrockets under Democratic control. There's article scan for you guys. American cities are becoming war zones under the liberal leadership, and a quintuple shooting in Washington, D.C. is just the latest example of this tragic trend. I know in Chicago last week there was 6 or 7 shootings over the weekend, 6 or 7 people dead, shot, and 11 shootings total or something like that. When the police were called to the intersection of Strotaga Avenue Northeast and 14th Street following reports of a shooting, they found 3 men with gunshot wounds. 2 men were pronounced dead at the scene, but a third was conscious and breathing. 2 others brought themselves to nearby hospital, with one now in stable condition and the other in critical condition. Police are looking for 3 men in a gray SUV. And this week, Washington, D.C. reached the dubious milestone of 200 homicides so far this year, after shooting in Northwest D.C. left a teenager dead and another fatally shot. Shooting took place in Southeast District of Columbia. The first incident was a dispute between 2 groups of people that turned deadly, while the second fatality was a man who got caught in the crossfires of 2 cars shooting at each other. Imagine getting in a crossfire of 2 cars and getting shot. Wow. You're just taking a walk and you get shot. This marked the 3rd year in a row where D.C. registered more than 200 homicides, although the figure was not reached last year until December 29th. Wow. So they are ahead of target here, and crime is skyrocketing. And speaking of crime, Trump received cheers from CA crowd after arguing in favor of shooting looters. And this is why I'm tying in this door-to-door looting or door-to-door vandals or door-to-door problems. This is why I'm trying to connect this for you guys, to tell you guys that I think we're going to see more and more this door-to-door looting thing is going to happen in rural areas.
Oh, I can't believe it. You know, these people are killing people when they go into the stores. You'll have 300 young people who are not looking for a good future walk into a store, big department store, and just pillage it. And if you happen to be there when they're there, they'll knock the hell out of you and kill you in some cases. And we will immediately stop all of the pillaging and theft. Very simply, if you rob a store, you can fully expect to be shot as you are leaving that store.
All right, so that's not news. That is already in Brazil. In Brazil, if you rob a couple of candies at a train station and you run away, and if they can shoot you, they'll shoot to kill. Right? So that is not new news. That is something that's already happening in some countries where they basically shoot to kill when it comes to robberies, right? In this stage, so he's talking about the teen takeovers, right? Something we've been discussing very heavily on the Mike of the Night show. We were discussing the teen takeovers, where people were going in and ransacking and destroying property and stealing property, and it's a lot of young people that have nothing to lose. When you dominate people, like we took from that movie Fast and Furious 5, when you dominate people with violence and they have nothing to lose, what do? They fight back. These teenagers are fighting back because they know they have nothing to lose. And he said in the beginning of that speech that with people with nothing to lose, or nothing, with no future ahead of them, basically, there it is right there, folks. Door to door, I'm just afraid. Oh, he says something else here. Hold on.
Oh, I can't believe it. You know, these people are killing people when they go in.
Okay, he said that there. Okay, and oh, there's a longer clip there. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what is. Yeah, conservatives and moderates. Let's see what here's. Poll results lead to an extensive corporate media campaign over the course of 2023 in which journalists used faulty and incomplete stats to argue that crime is actually going down. And yes, it is skyrocketing. Skyrocketing is a term we use a lot on this channel for the last 10 years. Skyrocketing everything. Fuel prices, oil, skyrocketing food, skyrocketing. We've been a skyrocketing channel. All right, let's move it on. This Hunter Biden crap. I'm not gonna. Yeah, Hunter Biden. Yeah, whatever. We know he's guilty. Let's move on. The border is too open. Okay. Remember this facha bruta? Remember this lady right here? Remember her? New York Governor Kathy Hochul, remember her? We're covering her back on Mike in the Night in mid 2021. She said that Jesus came to her in a dream, to tell you people to take the arm candy because she said that it's a Christian thing to do. Remember that? It's on record. You can watch the video. I'm not bringing back up the video because I'm going to throw up if I see her face. But the border is too open. Now she's complaining the border's too open in New York, not the Canadian border. If you're in Canada and you want to come to America, you get searched. You get put in holding prison. You get put. Last time I went to America, they put me in a prison cell. They held me there for a couple hours and strip searched me. You're Canadian going into America. Your border is doing a great job on the northern border. She's not talking about the New York-Canada border that borders Ontario. New York Governor Kathy becomes immigration hawk, calls for limiting number of migrants, doubling or quadrupling border patrol agents. Wow. Remember, they were busing these people, right, that arrived at the border to New York and let New York, a sanctuary city, take care of it, right? Remember that? But New York Governor Kathy Hochul, I can't even pronounce her name, Faccia Bruta, has turned into an immigration hawk after the Biden administration has overwhelmed her stay and specifically New York City with an unceasing flood of thousands upon thousands of migrants appearing on the CBS News program Face the Nation on Sunday. Hochul called for limited migration at the border and doubling and quadrupling border agents. Of course she has to. So in the past few months, as pressure has built on Hochul, I can't pronounce her name, to do something about the migrant crisis, she has passed the Biden administration to provide work permits to migrants and send financial and personal help. So there it is. There she is right there, the Faccia Bruta. And it's falling apart. People are coming from all over the world and finding their way through simply saying they need asylum. Not in Canada. So if you're in Canada and you go to the U.S. border and seek asylum, put you in jail and send your ass back to Canada. You're not welcome in America if you're in Canada side. You can't go to America, okay? So people watching this is from Mexico. And the majority of them are being end up on the streets of New York. And we had No Way Jose reporting on Mike in the Night what was happening with the whole fiasco in Chicago, where they are now all over the streets of Chicago. Same thing, sanctuary city, same MO. And that is a real problem for New York City. 125,000 newly arrived individuals, and we are being taxed. Yeah. Now we are always so proud of the fact that New York has a Statue of Liberty in the harbor. Statue of Liberty Harbor. We are one of the most diverse places on earth because of welcoming nature, and it's in our DNA to welcome immigrants. Yeah, but these are not European immigrants that are coming in to build the infrastructure, right? These are not European expansion that's going to build your sewers, your electrical stations, build your roads, build your buildings, build your municipal and government buildings. No, these are people that are going to come in, and when the switch flips, things start to change real quick in a heartbeat, right? And that's why I'm telling Americans keep their guns, because it's going to be the shock troops are coming in, and it's going to be a takeover. And I wanted to share that with you guys there. Okay, what else we got going on? What do we got in the comments here? Okay, more Biden shit no one cares about. Biden demands uninterrupted cash flow to the Ukraine. Let me read that again in case you didn't hear me, or your ears didn't believe what I just told you. Biden demands uninterrupted cash flow to Ukraine. Because it's money laundering, right? You send the money over, 15, 20% stays in the Ukraine, right? 60, 70, 80, maybe percent depending, comes back to America, and it hits political bank accounts. Politicians that voted this in are reaping their benefits. Politicians are working hard to get this rolling here, and they'll never give up this money laundering. This is a war of attrition, and this is why I've never taken sides on this war, because of the people in the middle that are getting hurt. That's why I've never taken sides. It's the people getting hurt in the middle from this money laundering, war of attrition, fiasco, BS war that's happening. And it's been happening, and we called it out day one, right? So, cash flow to Ukraine. President Joe Biden has welcomed a bipartisan short-term budget deal that will keep the U.S. government open for the next 45 days, but was disappointed that none of the billions of dollars in aid to Kiev that he had requested made it to the final bill. Yeah, it's going to get cut from the bill, and people are getting sick and tired. We cannot, under any circumstance, allow American support to Ukraine to be interrupted, Biden said in a brief statement on Saturday night shortly after Congress passed the measure. You know what? When is enough enough? Like, when is it like you have enough money that you are happy? When do we reach a point where you don't need any more? When do you reach a point in your life where you could say that I've achieved it, I'm okay, my kids are okay, my grandkids are okay, I'm happy? They're raping and bleeding American families dry. This Biden administration is bleeding and raping American families dry. So Biden has requested an additional $24 billion for Ukraine, but critics argued that Washington has more important priorities and should have stronger safeguards against the misappropriation of the funds and supplies it sends to Kiev. So this war of attrition is winning. Well, Russia's winning because it's bankrupting America. Russia's winning this war because it's bankrupting America and Eastern Europe. And Senate clears stopgap spending with a bill with no Ukraine aid. And the Senate on Saturday night passed a stopgap spending bill providing no Ukraine aid and sending the bill to President Joe Biden's desk. So there's no aid, like we said there. And Democrats want to bleed Ukraine dry, U.S. Senator. And we've been talking about Americans being bled dry by this war. Figures on the political left in the U.S. blame Russia, Donald Trump 2016 presidential election victory, and have committed to bleed Ukraine dry in retaliation, according to Republican Senator J.D. Vance. Sorry, this needs to be said, he wrote on X, formerly Twitter, late on a Saturday in advance of the deal being struck to disapprove U.S. federal government shutdown. A lot of the anti-Russian obsession on the left has nothing to do with Ukraine. It's a revenge fantasy over 2016. And it goes on to say the United States intelligence services accused Moscow of meddling in the 26th presidential election. It was actually Hillary Clinton that was, with express purposes of harming the Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton's candidacy and supporting that of Donald Trump. So, wow. So I'm not going to get into that whole Russia thing. I'm not going to get into that right now. Russia, it's all BS. We know that. So that's that there in a nutshell. All right, let's go back to your comments. Who else here? They're demon-possessed mice, says Tignim. Controlled by Khazarian, says David. I'm here, Mike, and the blessings are still coming. The blessings are still coming. Maybe they want it so they can build it back better. They're not going to build nothing better. They're just going to destroy it. They're going to bankrupt the country, and that's what they're going to do. And where all these billions of dollars go? Well, it went to bank accounts of politicians who are no longer with us because they jumped ship. Why do governments want to break the middle class so bad? It's because middle class have power, right? Governments want to break middle class bad is because middle class has power. Middle class has, well, they have the... If depending on what country, or if you're in the United States, you have guns. If you're middle class, you have guns, you're armed, your family's protected, you own property. Governments don't want that. Governments don't want to see a prosperous middle class. If they could bring in migrants and then get them to take away the jobs from the Americans, then they'll do that if they have to. But America does have a law in place that if someone immigrating there needs to prove that they're not stealing an American's job and run ads for 6 months. I ran ads for 6 months when I was living in Florida, and I wasn't stealing an American's job, and they still didn't give me a green card. So there are laws in place to protect the American proper from immigration, right? So governments are looking for ways to destroy middle class, and they always have been, because the middle class has the middle class vote, the middle class working party, like that works, working, blue and white collar middle class, and governments want to dissolve corporation. Governments want to dissolve everything, and federalize everything under their jurisdictions, right? They want to take over the trucking sector, the logistics sector, the big pharmas. They want everything. Well, big pharma is an entity on its own, but you guys know what I mean. They want to destroy, and it's a hijack, and it's an economic takeover of the working class families. And it's been going on for ages now. Verona saying, love you, Mike. Gotta run. Glad I caught you live. Love from Tasmania. That's in Hobart. It's probably in Hobart, Tasmania. Yeah, is the border too open or not closed enough? Says T. Lawton in the comments. That was a good one. Yeah, it's average mics, folks. It's your average man with your average discussion, with your average talk, and your average life. And, yeah, throw me over your discussion pieces, guys, what you want to do. If we want to do a late night talk show. Mike in the Night, I don't know. It just never worked. 524 episodes, the show never took off. So if you guys have an idea of a show we could do. The thing is, the problem with doing a call-in show, we can't do it on YouTube. I can't do a call-in show on a platform where I actually have a following. That's the problem. I don't have any followers. I got 2,000 followers on Rumble. I got 1,000 on Odyssey. The platforms where I could speak freely, nobody follows me on there. So it's a problem to do an open talk show on the platforms where I actually have people watching me. So that's the problem we have. Mike in the Night is an okay show, but I don't know how to do this. I just don't know how to wrap my head around this. How to wrap my head around this idea, like how to do this. Do I run an ad? Do I run a show with you guys on all platforms? And we speak freely, but we're censored. And then callers, how do I take callers? Because I can't censor the callers, right? I'm alone. But if we do a show on Rumble and Odyssey, I don't have no one following me on there. So we could take callers, but the show, Odyssey and Rumble won't promote us, right? We're not Rumble heroes, right? So I don't know how we could do I want to do a late night talk show. I want to find, and I don't want it to be like a massive setup where Mike in the Night took hours and hours of preparing. I want it to be like average Mike. I jump on, put a thimble up, I'll put the stream key in and go. I don't have to waste my time, right? I'd rather spend more time talking to you guys live and talking and going back and forth than setting up a show, right? Build on it and grow your own audience. No, something's happening on Rumble. When I reach 300 people watching live, it drops down and people get cut off the show. People get cut off the show completely. And and then sometimes it loads another live stream of Russell Brand or somebody else. When on Rumble, it actually promotes you to get off my show. So I'm not a Rumble hero, right? So someone's saying there's a robot movie out now about AI, robots and AI. I believe you're doing everything right so far. Continuing your vision, Mike, on the street, Monday, street smart. Richard Jennings saying, baby steps, Mike. It's been 10 years, 5,000 videos, 1,600 live streams. It's been 10 years. There's people with 13 videos, opened a channel 3 months ago, made a couple of documentaries saying that the pandemic did all this stuff. 250,000 subscribers. making 6,000-7,000 a month, enjoying their what they yeah. You need an audio popper and a better video camera. This is a 4K camera I have here, so I'm not sure what level you guys are watching the show on, because it is at 4K capacity. So you could go to your settings and then adjust it, right? Wow, I can't believe I got a super chat here today. Wow. Thanks, guys. All right, what do we got here? What time is it? I don't even know what time it is.
Ricky Spanish.
Yeah, all right. Just opening a soundboard here.
I'm a lawyer.
Got my soundboard here open too. Oh, it's 4:45. All right, let's keep going here, folks. The Great Oil Conspiracy, right here, front and center. The Great Oil Conspiracy, it has been known since the end of World War II that oil is not a fossil fuel. It's an abiotic. I hope I said that right. And there are two basic theories. And there are two basic theories for the origin of crude oil. And we've already discussed this on Mike of the Night, that oil migration and oil is basically natural lifeblood of the earth, and it is something that it's produced naturally and it will not run out. I remember back in 1988, 89, they were saying by the year 2000 we'll run out of oil. No, there's more oil seeping up. Oil always finds its way to get up through the cracks, always finds a way. If there's an oversupply, it'll find a way to surface. Oil always finds a way to surface. That's why you have pools of lakes of oil and stuff, and that's why governments have heavily regulated this. So the origin of petroleum and or natural gas may seem like a strange debate to have, but determining whether this fuel is fossil fuel or not is important. If these fuels are truly fossil fuels, then they are limited in supply and alternative energy resources will need to be created at the same point. If they are not fossil fuels and are created through some form of abiogenesis, a natural process from non-living matter, then we need to develop alternative fuels is diminished. The biotech theory is that oil and gas drilled out of the earth come from the remains of plants and animals, which we already on the show told you that's all BS, right? Trapped underground millions of years ago, these fossil fuels took eons to form, and we are using them up faster and faster. They can't be replenished. The fossil fuel theory is, however, just that, a theory. Exactly, like evolution. There are many futures of fossil fuel origins theory which still apparently puzzles some scientists. So what if the whole theory is wrong? So there's the abiotic oil theory, where the chemistry is quite complex. Environmental chemist, the principle behind the abiotic oil idea is actually quite simple. So there's the carbon, there's the mantle, there's your oil migration, there's your porous rocks, non-porous rocks, and your magma. So evidence supporting abiotic theory. Some people have been deeply interested in oil and its origins, but their advocacy and abiotic theory has many disarming their as heretics, frauds, and idealists. So whenever you go against the status quo, and it says right here, World War II and fossil fuel theory kicked off, right? And that whole fossil fuel theory kicked off. And I did a video here that I kind of want to point out that we did 5 years ago. Oil wars ahead via BRICS. They are working towards a fake energy shortage, refinery closures ahead 5 years ago. My opinion, as cities go broke, they will need to fund their BS spending by creating fake shortages to allow for more hidden taxation as inflation creeps in. So they're using oil as a weapon so they could tax us more for it, because they They want us to believe that the oil is limited and we will run out of oil, but that's BS. And we had a geologist on the show, believe it or not. When was this? Back in 2018, we had a geologist on Mike of the Night that came on and told us that basically oil is a renewable resource, and if the Earth stops, the Earth won't stop producing oil. It will seep to the surface. Oil will come to the surface regardless if we take it out. If we take it out, then we keep it on the ground. Well, before you know it, oil will seep through the cracks and it will surface, right? That's how much oil the Earth does produce. But they're framing it in a way that we are bad and we are taking it all and we have nothing left for the next generations. Abiotic. Someone's telling me how abiotic. That's how you pronounce it, folks. Remember, guys, I can't read, so keep that in mind. I'm just telling you what's going on. I'm just here to tell you what's going on. All right, let's move on. Abortion pills. Death toll estimated to nearly 6 million since 2000. War drums. More war drums. Feel good, man. All right, guys. Let's go over to Rumble and see who's there. Someone's laughing at the Ricky Spanish soundboard.
Ricky Spanish.
Limitless. Oh, good. We got 29 people watching on Rumble. Thanks, guys, for joining us on Rumble. Odyssey is buffering. There it goes. And we got a few people there watching. Thanks, guys. Don't forget the like button. I am drinking lemon water. Somebody on Facebook is asking. I am drinking lemon water. And yes, I'm here with you guys on Facebook. I think I always got 9 people watching me on Facebook. It never goes to 12 or 11. It's always 9. And then on Twitch, let me go to my Twitch. I usually have one person watching me on. Yeah, one person on Twitch. Yeah. Always got a person following me on Twitch. Earth sign is for someone who is quitting your show, you're on a lot. Again, we're not doing Mike of the Night. Guys, we canceled Mike of the Night, and I said in the video, we are going to terminate Mike in the Night because it's not going anywhere. And it hasn't gone anywhere in 500 episodes. 524 episodes. Nowhere. There's people that make 2 episodes of something and they're sitting pretty. Real McCoy's in the house. Where's the Raven? No idea where he's at right now. Yeah, for us to do a call-in show, we have to do it on Odyssey and Rumble because I cannot censor people calling in, right? So people talk freely. But my problem is we don't have a following on those platforms. They're not promoting us. After so many live streams on Rumble, maybe we would pass the guy eating rice or the guy live streaming eating rice or the other guy live streaming while he's sleeping and 7,000 people watching a guy sleeping live. I thought maybe we would have passed that, but we're not Rumble material. We're not like material, right? Mike of the Night made a difference for me. Average Mike, awesome run. Like what do I mean? Like, I don't have a problem. Okay, if we bring back Mike of the Night. So what? Like, I just feel we're not allowed to grow. They're not allowing us to grow. We're not allowed to be seen. I get the odd person. Who the hell is this guy? Where did you come from? Who the hell are you? You're on 500 episodes, so you must be doing one a day for a year and a half. You're a post-COVID hero. No, been doing this since 2016. So, what like, maybe I should ask you guys what you guys want me to do. Because I'm at a point right now that we can't grow on Rumble and Odyssey. Okay, we won't grow on there. We're shadow banned on YouTube, but at least we have people on YouTube watching. But we can't do Mike in the Night on YouTube because we'll get kicked off. Right? So we don't so Rigor Mortis is saying, then give up. What do you want? I just want my effort that I put in, the endless hours and endless talk and endless discussion and endless, I just want at least to be seen. It's like you're in a box or a closet your whole life and you're talking in the closet and no one cares. Just the odd person walking by the closet hears you. That's what it's like. Earth sign saying, why grow? Because it feels like I've accomplished something. I feel like I don't know, just, you know what I mean, guys. I feel like I've, yeah, don't worry about the numbers. It's all about quality, not quantity. The problem is we come up with some pretty interesting word salads, some pretty interesting key terms, pretty interesting coin terms on Mike in the Night with the callers and kind of connecting things. And then another channel takes it and runs with it and does so well. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like we're just sitting back and just getting ripped off. Gabriel Hill saying, can you get a show on Cyrus or XM Radio? I don't know, Gabriel. I don't know. I know of those people, but I think I have to go through very specific guidelines, and I don't want to go through guidelines. Right? You do have a following, Mike. Mike at the Night on Rumble on Saturday has a good following. Not when a guy's live sleeping and he's filming himself sleeping, making live streams, and have 7,000 people watching him stream, and another guy with 12,000 people watching him eat rice for 3 hours. Definitely something's wrong on this side. Those guys making those streams are the ones that are doing it right. They're the ones that are getting out the message out. They're the ones that are doing the right thing. Me, I feel like it's like just this dead end dark maze that just doesn't go anywhere. Just this dead end that doesn't go anywhere. Then okay, Rigor Mortis is saying maybe you will never get the recognition. Yeah, but then that's why I won't get the recognition. But that's why I go and say, okay, this is what we said 7 years ago. This is what we said 4 years ago, and people get mad at me. Why do you have to keep recorrect? Well, I have to. So people know that I'm not just bringing shit up for no reason, that I said it 7 years ago with the timestamp. And that's why I go back to show people. A lot of these new content creators or Rumble heroes or Twitter stars, they can't go back 7 years and show you oil wars, talking about oil wars. They can't. Drilling permits canceled, massive energy wars, government takeover, internet down. Let the petrol wars begin 4 years ago. And they can't go back and reference stuff that's happening today and say, well, we said this 4 years ago and it's happening now. I have that. But people get pissed off at me when I go back and show them something. because I don't have any following, so people could say, "Oh yeah, Mike said that before. That's great, Mike." But no. So you need validation. No, you see, here's the problem. When I'm talking about something, I have a reference of what I said. I go back and show people what I'm talking about so that people know that I'm not some sort of bandwagoner that's been doing this after COVID to try and jump on some bandwagon after COVID and become a COVID hero, right? So what do you expect, Mike? I don't know. I don't know what I want anymore. I don't know what I want anymore, to be honest. I don't know. It's been good. It's been a good run, and yeah, credibility. There you go. Credibility. In the town I live in, I'm a very, very, very hated man. I'm a very despicable, disgusting person in my town. And for opening a business. Not because of Mike of the Night or trends in the housing market or not even about any of that stuff. It's because I opened a business in the town. I'm a disgusting, despicable human being here in this town. Yeah, Cash Malachi Chapel saying, "Let God be your witness." Yeah. Just do what you think is right. As Rigger said, just said, follow your instincts. Real McCoy said, "We are listening to you, not some COVID hero." Adam saying, "Stay strong, brother." Yeah, I'm doing my best, you know. I don't really have much. Like, I have my family, my life, whatever. But outside of, that, I don't really do much. I'm talking about, I watch movies with my kids, we play board games, we do stuff, we go for walks, we do. I'm not talking about that aspect. I'm talking about on an employment aspect of things. I don't have much opportunity. Okay? I'm not a hireable person with my track record and what I've been saying all these years. I'm unhireable. And I have to stick to my small business and make what I can to support my family. I have to do what I can to survive. And I am hated in this town. So there's not many people. There's 2 stoplights in this town. So I was hoping that over the years that I could make the contribution to society, but also in return gain some sort of like income, like a bigger channel could, like, or a big like Rumble heroes that get promoted could say, "Hey, we like this guy. This guy's really not that bad. He's been around for so many years, right? He actually has a track record. He's not a Rumble hero. He's not a COVID hero. He's been warning about this for years. Maybe we should give the guy a break." And because a lot of these Rumble heroes get signed up and they get paid a couple of grand a live stream. I don't want a couple of grand a live stream, just enough to pay my internet bill and my electricity for the house, right? And that's the problem, and it's never paid off, right? And it wasn't for the payoff. It was more about because of the limited employment opportunities I have here. I thought maybe things would have changed. I thought things would have John Wayne's in the house. What's up? Happy Thanksgiving, pilgrims. I am John Wayne. Hi, Mike. Find you by accident. Not surprised with your confusion and dissolution. Take a break and recharge your batteries. I don't have much after. Like, after, if I don't, if I don't do this, let's say this live stream, what am I going to be doing? Watching a movie? But my kids are out at a friend's house playing. My wife's not home. And what would I do in this gap, right? Like, what would I do? What would I do, right? Read a book? I don't know. I just like hanging out with you guys, and I like being here. Someone's saying, come to the coast, let's fish ling cod. I'm like, ooh, I like cod. I'm Portuguese. I see a guy, Philip is saying, I see a guy on Rumble showing his horse drinking out of a garden hose, had over 500,000 subs. Yeah. Lead shoes cobbler saying, Mike, you have value. You just need to find it. It takes time. I am spending a lot of time with my kids. Right? I spend all morning with them. And then I told them tonight when they get back from their friend's house, we're gonna continue watching Smallville. We've been watching Smallville. We're almost done season 1. Mike for mayor. No. I'm not qualified to be in politics. I'm not qualified for politics. I ran before in town, and I dropped out after a week. A lady came into my store and said if I didn't drop out, she'll call the police and try and to tell her that I try to grope her. So I dropped out right away. I didn't want no part of this town and this. Yeah, because if I dropped out, she would have been a shoo-in, but then 5 more people joined, and then she was out. Nobody voted for her. Yeah. Yeah, maybe get out of Canada for a while might be a thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a thing. I don't know. It's a thought. All right, we're on YouTube Live, Average Mics, and we got our rumbling here, and we got 26 people watching. Yeah, and it goes back to that thing that, I put up a video gets taken down. Every other day I get one video taken down. I take the title, put it in like I did at the beginning of the show I showed you guys. I put the title in the show. I put the title, and then someone said something, or there's something that was said in the show, but they take my video down from 2017, 2018, 2012, whatever. So what about removing? I can't see. There's a heart here. There's a heart over the comment. I can't read it. YouTube, fix that now. Mike, what about remote work when you're not working at the shop? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a tree rooted in the ground. I have the capacity to change. Mike, if anyone understands, it's us. Nobody listens to us either. All my friends and family are juiced. If people listen, we wouldn't be in this circumstance. Exactly. But Don, the problem is it's all these Rumble heroes and Twitter stars and all these people coming out and now making documentaries about this and making and just doing really well. When we were here, you were here, we were here all this time as a family trying to get through this. So Robbie in the house says 98 watching in the UK. Yeah, it's Average Mike. It's probably what, 9 o'clock in the UK right now? So Dora Hearts from Great Britain watching from Spain. And that's why I like to do this average mic show in the day, average mics, because I could do it on all the platforms. I could do all the platforms. It's censored to a point where I'm not gonna end up getting terminated. So, all right, guys, let's go into. Oh, it's around 2 a.m. in England. Sorry, what time is it here? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. And Robbie's saying it's 1:10 in the morning. Yeah, Rigor Mortis is saying you can't dwell on the past, only move forward. It's only 2:10 in the morning in Spain. Wow. Tune into average mics. You're going to wake up the next morning tired and say, why are you tired for? I was just watching this guy on social media with this average channel talking about average topics and just averagely discussing things. And I find it intriguing that it's average. We see the tyranny coming. That's a given. It's how to navigate that without losing our minds. You might help enormously. Yeah. All right, guys. War drums are ringing. War drums are ringing and battleships are sinking. What am I talking about? Here it is. Shocking U.S. Navy report shows China's shipbuilding capacity is 232 times that of the United States. And this is our friends over at Natural News reporting this. Recently leaked intelligence from the U.S. Navy shows that China's shipbuilding capacity is currently 232 times higher than that of the U.S. A very worrying statistics of the People's Liberation Party, PLA. Navy seeks to expand a global reach. This figure comes from a leaked briefing slide from the U.S. Navy. A spokesperson for the Navy confirmed to Fox News Digital that the slide was authentic. It shows that while American shipyards are currently have the capacity of under 100,000 tons, the capacity of Chinese shipyards exceeds 23.2 million tons. The spokesperson said that while the slide does offer some insight into the communist country's shipbuilding capacity, it should not be interpreted as thorough assessment of the Chinese commercial shipbuilding industry. Instead, it was a part of a larger overall brief outlining strategic competition. China has been prioritizing and enhancing its naval capabilities. It currently boasts the biggest navy in the world and had more than 355 vessels in its fleet as of 2021. Moreover, projections from the Pentagon estimate that their fleet will reach 400 ships by 2025 and 440 ships by 2030. The U.S., in contrast, has a fleet of 296 ships. And America stopped building ships today. China would take years to reach the point where their naval power would be comparable to ours. This is because the U.S. Navy has superior technological ability experience. So China is using its naval presence to intimidate the neighbors. Again, China is saber-rattling, and they've been saber-rattling for a long time now. And they've been pissing off their neighbors left and right. And war drums are ringing. Russia's military budget set to rise 70 points. 70 points. And Russia is upping its military. Russian military spending is set to rise almost 70% to $106 billion by 2024, according to a Russian finance minister document published Thursday. An increase that illustrates Moscow's determination to continue its military intervention in Ukraine despite the human and economic costs. According to the document, Russian defense spending will increase 68% in 2024 compared to this year and will reach 10.8 trillion rubles, 186 billion euros. As a result, the amount allocated to defense will represent 30% of the total federal spending in 2024 and a 6% GDP. First, Russia's modern history. The budget for internal security is set to rise 3.4 trillion rubles, 33 billion euros, almost 10% of the federal spending. And Taiwan unveils first domestically built submarine amid military modernization and build-up meant to deter a Chinese invasion. So Taiwan's doing everything it can to protect its coasts and its sovereignty and its country. I've been to Taiwan 2 times. I loved it twice. I enjoyed it very much. And it is different from China. It's a different mindset. It's a different flag. It's a different language. It's a different everything. It's very independent from China. Taiwan has officially launched its first domestically manufactured military submarine as it moves to fully modernize its armed forces amid a military buildup to deter the growing aggression of the Chinese Communist Party. On Thursday, September 28th, the Republic of China Navy ROCN christened the Haikun, the first of at least 8 new submarines to be born from its indigenous defense submarine program related. So related reports, advanced Chinese nuclear submarine crashed in Taiwan Strait. That is another report that was going around. So there it is. There it is. Reports, advanced Chinese nuclear submarine crashed in Taiwan Strait. Same image. Reports are emerging that a Chinese nuclear-powered submarine may have crashed in the disputed Taiwan Strait. The rumors spreading online claim that one of China's Type 093 Shine-class nuclear-powered submarines crashed due to unknown circumstances. So the rumors first began spreading on Tuesday, August 22nd. So it's an older article, but it is relevant to what's happening. And Press TV is reporting DPRK, nuclear development driven by U.S. threat. So there's the North Korea saber rattling. The leader of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, Kim Jong-un, addressed at the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK this week, emphasizing the country's nuclear weapons policy. The DPRK has steadily developing a nuclear and missile deterrent as it views the U.S. as a threat, a position recently outlined by DPRK representative at the United Nations General Assembly. Owing to the reckless and continued hysteria of nuclear showdown on the part of the U.S. and its following forces, the year 2023 has been recorded as an extremely dangerous year that the military security situation in and around Korean Peninsula was driven closer to the brink of nuclear war. Sung Kim, permanent representative, UN, North Korea. And let's see if we have any. More military. There's no more military saber rattling, but there's more happening. We'll keep you guys covered and updated here on Average Mics. Average Mic is every Monday around noonish, 1 p.m.-ish time. And I really haven't set a date, but it's Mondays. It's Monday. It's my day off. I'm home, and the kids are usually at school. It's a holiday here today, but the kids are usually at school, and I pretty much have the day mainly to myself here, and we could spend some time here together. Okay. Troops in southern state reestablish them mostly in northern points of Australia. Billy say I only comment. I only comment. They say if I had a channel, it could be suspended or lost or lose the right to comment. More than 10,000 young Chinese men without families have crossed the U.S. border. Covering that on Mike in the Night extensively. We call them shock troops. They're programmed wide open U.S. southern border. And the money laundering coming in from the shadow banking system in China, the fentanyl sales, the money, you guys have no idea. And I've been warning you guys in short videos over the last 10 years how America is being taken over by China. But nobody cared. Nobody gave a rat's ass. You know why? Because Joe Rogan never said nothing. You see, if Joe Rogan said something, it would be front and center. If Joe Rogan said that 10 years ago, if Joe Rogan was saying what I was saying 10 years ago, you'd have a completely different America, because people would tune in and listen and say, oh my God, Joe Rogan said something. But yeah, it's total invasion, a silent invasion, total invasion. All right. So if you ever wonder where your EV cars are coming from, here it is. Massive explosion at EV battery warehouse in Uzbekistan kills 15-year-old boy, injures 163. Now I'm going to say this part right here. 15-year-old boy. What the hell is a 15-year-old boy doing in a battery warehouse in Uzbekistan and ends up getting killed? And 163 people injured. What is a 15-year-old doing there? That's where your electric cars are coming from, folks. Slave labor. Yeah, they got to hit them quotas. Slave labor. A giant explosion followed by a fire at that completely destroyed a customs warehouse near the airport in Uzbekistan also killed 15-year-old boy and injured at least 162 people. Video and photos of the blast flooded social media, showing a massive conflagration and a big mushroom cloud of smoke that was visible across Tashkent. So let's see if there's a video. There's the image right there. There's the smoke. There's the fire. And man, that rocked the place. That totally rocked it. And then this goes back to massive explosion tears through customs in Uzbekistan. New York and San Francisco fire departments, lithium-ion battery fires caused at least 20 deaths, more than 300 injured since 2019. So this is becoming a bigger and bigger problem. And this is Mail Online video. That's. Oh, I don't know what that was. It just played someone's apartment here. So there's another footage there. Oh, it's multiple footages. So there's your electric cars, folks. Slave labor, all by slave labor. That's how they make budgets. That's how they make it work, right? Xi Jinping highlights importance of innovation on path to Chinese-style modernization. I don't want to get into that right now. I don't want to get into the whole empty cities thing that's happening all over the world. And that's the modernization of China, is leaving cities empty across the world. Only Mexico surpasses Sweden as non-wearing nation with most bombings. So only Mexico surpasses Sweden as a non-wearing nation with the most bombings. So Sweden's seeing a lot of bombings. Sweden is second only to Mexico at the top country in the world, not currently at war, to experience the most bombings on its territory, according to lead criminologist. EU launches world's first carbon tax border. Mafangulo. World's class border. World first carbon tax border.
Ricky Spanish.
And that's just some headlines. And Argentinian presidential candidate Milei, should we dollarize, or rather, why should we keep the peso? So the new presidential frontrunner, who is doing really well, who is pro-life, pro, and we've been following his career very closely on Mike in the Night, and he is basically doing a good job. He's doing a good job winning the people, right? He's doing what a politician does, right? All right, what's going on in the comments, folks? What are you guys talking about? It's the Mike in the Night Average Mike Show, Monday show. So if I'm free on Mondays, which I usually am, I'll be here with you guys. And with Mike in the Night, I don't know, it's just a waste of time, man. It's too much involved to do that show. It's too much, and I'm alone, and then when people wanna shit on me in the comments, it's like, why do I even bother, right? all that time and effort. All that time and effort. All right, guys, we're wrapping up into our second hour here on Average Mics. Your average talk show, your average discussion. So let me know what you guys want to do on like, I'm free like maybe Sunday evenings when the kids are in bed. I don't know. Saturday nights eats up. I don't know. I don't know what to do, folks. I really don't know what to do. Maybe launch something new. Maybe a new rebrand something new. I look forward to reading your comments on that and what to do. Yeah, I'm reading your comments here. They are invasion force. As long as those left-leaning yuppies can drive their Teslas, who gives a shit how many people die? Says Art by Dano. Artbydano.net, artbydano.com. Not your typical art. Check them out. And yeah, guys, it's Average Mics, your average talk show, your average discussion, your average. Look, I even had the Mic of the Night set up really nice. Look at that. I made this background on AI for Mic of the Night, and that was for October 1st show. Yeah, that was 525. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys want to do. What you guys feel is, I don't know. But Average Mics works good for me. And it's Mondays. But we can't do call-ins. That's the problem with Average Mics. We cannot do call-ins. Because I can't censor people calling in, right? Guys, if you want to support, sign up with the Glutathione. Give you a link. Just sign up, read the reviews, read the reports, read what's going on. Well, so David has a really good David has a good point here. Do shows whenever you can. Don't force yourself to stick to a schedule. Interesting. I never thought of that. I actually never thought of that. Run a show just when I can. Interesting. Very interesting. Take your show to the streets and see what people... That's what... That... Pavan... Pavan Lali's in the house. Yeah, that's what we do, our call-ins, where people call in, and they could Skype us and show us where they are. And they could interview... Like, we've had the Raven on the show interview people on the streets in Manitoba, Winnipeg, interview people in different parts. We had multiple people on the show that were out and about interviewing people on the ground. Because we need, like, a headquarters to transmit the information, right? Steve Stevens is saying rebrand the show and make short clips and videos highlighting key points. Most people have short attention spans. Yeah. Anyways, guys. All right, guys, my 2 hours are up. I am going to get a snack. Or what time is it here? It's 5:29. I'm gonna get a little snacksy waxy. I'm gonna eat something here, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Thanks for being here with me, guys. Mike Martin's here for Average Mics. I have spoken. Average Mics